She was crazy about you.
We meet Maya at a point in her life where she's really aware of her different parts of her personality. I think we all have our own true self and then our self that we show to the world and the one that we see, and then are caught somewhere between the two a lot of the time. And she is maybe unsure when we meet her about who she is, and whether your actions make you who you are or not, and what defines her. So we meet her at this point of change, and she goes through a breakup, and then she meets this amazing person who's Hattie, who's everything she kind of wishes she could be and maybe has lost, who is free and says what she wants, and feels like she's met this person who's showing her real self, and it makes Maya want to be her like real self again.
She is a very vibrant and I think comfortable kind of in any room type of person. She's aggressive about what she wants and she goes after it. And I think she's also very sensitive and emotional and a bit erratic. So I think she's very heavily affected by things and she's very reactive to things. And so she kind of has this spectrum of, she can have this lightness and this heaviness because of she's kind of emotionally unstable.
Anna. Well, Anna is a very fiery and bold woman. I would say that she can be quite harsh with her words and she's very to the point, but she wears her heart on her sleeve and she does want love and to be loved. And I think that the kind of situation she's going through, not feeling very good about where her career is going and feeling like she's not getting attention from her girlfriend, sort of sends her down a bit of a spiral. She feels like she's not in control of everything. Anna's first go-to with anything is to be reactionary and to be angry, but really deep down, like, there's pain behind that, because preparing for that was tough. Because there's a lot mixed in there. There's a lot of emotion put in that whole situation.
I play Rebecca, who is a lonely, troubled high school student who keeps a video diary, and through that we see her relationship unfold with her tutor, Maya.
So a lot of the film focuses on these two characters, Maya and Hattie. And one of the great things about the way that we managed to do it and the way that Nick works is that we shot almost everything completely in sequence, give or take. So when you see this Maya and Hattie character meet on screen, that we really were meeting for the first time, which gave this completely unique energy in a way that I haven't had that really happen.
Maria's been just one of the easiest people I think I've ever worked with. She's very thoughtful and selfless and collaborative, and I think it's so much more freeing to work with someone who's all in. There are some really challenging scenes in this film, and to be able to kind of fall into it with someone and feel like you're going to be caught is really special. And so it's just been, I think the best word is just really easy. And she's just lovely to be around. So
I only really got to work with Marie playing Maya. That was, it was a very isolated, I guess, sort of set for me. A very quick shoot with just her. She was great though, no complaints. Very easy to work with. Very easy. She made me very relaxed. It was sort of a daunting relationship to show, and especially my first film coming into England and not being at home, and just being very out of my element. She put me at ease very easily. So yeah, I was slightly intimidated by her when we first met, because I knew she was a little bit more of a veteran actress than myself. Again, English, the kind of, I had this mindset of coming in as sort of this like annoying American, that's why I always kind of have that in my head when I travel to other countries. But no, it was just very easy, and it felt very laid back, and like we were free to experiment and just play it out different ways and see how it all came together.
It's been one of those films where you can feed into the real situation, kind of real life and film coming together. And then we really did both get to go on this adventure to Spain, to this new exciting place that looks amazing, that has this wow factor for these characters, and like Spain's almost like a character in this film. For Maya, it represents so much of who she isn't and who she would like to be, and we got as actors to come here together and feel that and have that wow factor. And walking into the villa, it was real. Like, I saw those things, which is just a really helpful way to work.
But so living with everyone sort of in the same space and being very in this, compact apartment where we were shooting, it all felt very natural. Just kind of everything rolled into each other each day, sort of just rolled into the next. And, getting to know everyone and being thrown in was oddly, I think, helpful to tap into the anxious energy of the character.
I loved working in the desert. I think that was my favorite part of the whole experience, because that's so fun and so cool. Yeah, working in the desert in a very emotional scene, doing different angles, working with blood, working with death. I mean, that was just absolutely the funnest day ever.
the schedule has not been super, a ton of scenes packed into one day, so it's a lighter workload. So we've been able to take time to explore like we like. And then also, being in chronological order, there are things that you can kind of come up with along the way, and you don't have to worry about, oh, but we already did this scene, and we can't change that, or we can't play a little bit more. And so and just getting to know character too. It's like there's just so much more. I feel like I've gotten to know about Hattie and Maya by doing it this way. And the first scene we shot together was the first time we met. So it was kind of like you get that authenticity too. Like, after this amount of time, we know each other better.
Yeah.
And then we have more comfortability even within the scenes where we're supposed to have more comfortability. So it brings an authenticity to the film that I think is really special, because you don't get to do that.
We came in, we were all, again, living and working in the same space. This very, compacted, small kind of apartment. And so we would just, get up, eat breakfast, start shooting. And the video diaries, that was all filmed with a phone that I was holding myself, which was a challenge. It was honestly a pretty big challenge for me, because I was focusing, almost like holding up a mirror was hard, not to hyperfixate and focus on what I looked like in any given moment, or the quality of the video on the phone screen. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as a camera. So I think I was just trying to get out of my own head and back into the headspace of Rebecca. I think that just kind of that bridging that gap was the challenge.
So the way that I like to work, or the way I have kind of started working over the last years, is to focus on understanding and feeling this character, but not knowing how they will perform and how they will behave in a scene until you get there, and then those choices becoming something that's alive and organic in the moment. And it feels like that is also largely how sometimes Nick works. But I was wondering, do you do that to shift to how I work? Like, is that always how you work? And is that something where our processes somewhat align with this like freedom of the moment? Or is it something that you're doing to adjust to your acts? Because I think China Walker, who plays Hattie, also has a similar process where she likes to be very free. Well, personally, I feel really lucky that, I mean, we hadn't met before this film. Mm-hmm. China lives in America, I live in the UK. And we actually didn't manage to meet on Zoom or anything either, because you were busy being a movie star. I was available. I'm always free. She was busy. So yeah, this horrid lady wouldn't meet me. And then I was like, well, let's hope that we're gonna click. And it turns out that I feel like we have a really similar process. One of the huge advantages about it being a smaller crew and indie film, being able to all have this time together to talk about everything, is that I feel like everyone came to play, and everyone came with a openness and a flexibility and an honesty that
and
meant
a care.
that, and a care.
Really
like
care about.
We talk a lot about this film, much to Nick's annoyance, I'm sure. So many questions. But that's part of it, and that's what allows us to 90% of the time go around in circles and end up at the same place. But we get to all do that together in a way that you often don't. You turn up on set and you do your scene, and then you go back to your base, and that's kind of it.
I think you should definitely expect some intensity, some action. Yeah, surprises.
I think it might not be what they think it is, in a way, like, or they might, either they're gonna know exactly what it's gonna be, or they're gonna have no idea.
I think it'll make people think. There's a lot to think about in this film. We're coming out of it. It touches on a lot of different subject matter.
You can expect a drama. You can expect characters who are as complicated and diverse as actual people who you don't know everything about, who are going through stuff with you at the audience at the same time. It's sexy, and then it's a little bit scary.